peer-reviewed study from 2002 showed that drinking 40 ml or a little bit above, which is to say one shot glass, of at least 10% or 20 proof alcohol can reduce your likelihood of foodborne illness if taken with or immediately after the food by around 45%. Now, this is not foolproof. You should definitely just take care of your food first. But if you are of legal drinking age and healthy to drink, and you have consumed some food that you think may not be good, follow it up with a single shot of hard liquor, and you will reduce your likelihood of getting sick. Cheers.
No, this claim is not only false, or it lacks a good amount of evidence, let's just put it at that, but it can potentially be also really harmful. I will not put up the study that she just mentioned, because Morticia, a microbiologist, has done a great job looking at this study and breaking it down, and also bringing up really great points why extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence. And I highly recommend to follow her account because she constantly is putting out great information. I would like to go in depth into another argument. Is alcohol healthy? This is a really interesting question because if you look at a lot of research, you will see a J-shaped curve. You need to interpret a J-shaped curve as follows. On the left side, going up, you can see the mortality risk, while at the bottom, going to the right, you can see the alcohol consumption. And if you're a moderate drinker, looking at this graph, this is of course highly encouraging because the risk of mortality goes down after having a couple of drinks per day. However, these studies should be interpreted with a lot of caution because these studies didn't account for reverse causality. People that drank less or didn't drink at all during the last years of their life didn't do so because they didn't want to stop drinking, but most likely they were forced because of their health conditions. And it's sadly that health condition or that disease that brought up their deaths. A better way to look at this case is Mendelian randomization trials. We are all born with genes. Genes that can cause us, for example, to have high cholesterol levels throughout our whole life, if not treated, or genes that can lower our cholesterol level. Doesn't matter what we do, whether we smoke, whether we drink alcohol, and so on and so forth. So what do genes actually have to do with alcohol consumption? To answer this question, we have to look at alcohol metabolism. Alcohol metabolism occurs into two steps. On the left, you see the molecular structure for alcohol. Acetaldehyde dehydrogenase, or short for ADH, is the enzyme that breaks apart alcohol into acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde, which is actually really toxic for the body, gets further broken down into acetate. And in order for our liver to do these steps, it needs the help of the enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. That's how our body basically metabolizes alcohol. If you have a gene mutation that impairs the function of these two enzymes, you cannot metabolize alcohol. What sets Mendelian randomization apart is because you can control for genes. These genes are called single nucleotide polymorphisms. Because of the gene mutations, we can pretty much control for many confounding variables. In this case, we have people that pretty much will never drink a drop of alcohol in their entire life. Or maybe they've done so but once or twice, and that's about it. The symptoms that follow after you're drinking the alcohol is not fun. If we take these people that have the gene mutation, what do we see? The Mendelian randomization study that you see on the screen wanted to answer this exact question. Here are the results. You don't have to be truly a scientist to interpret these results. We can see a significant rise in risk in all-cause mortality, cardiovascular mortality, cancer mortality, digestive mortality, and respiratory mortality. They included almost 280,000 participants in this analysis from the UK Biobank. The participants were aged 37 to 73 years old. And this wasn't the only Mendelian randomization trial looking at alcohol consumption and on its effect on our health. We have other genetic studies looking at alcohol consumption and the risk for cardiovascular diseases. These studies were published in different journals, were conducted in different cohorts with different demographics and analyzed by different researchers. And their conclusion was the same. Alcohol consumption, even in moderation, will increase the risk significantly for cardiovascular disease or all-cause mortality. Or in other words, no amount of alcohol is healthy. I'm not here to lecture you or to judge your behavior. If you want to drink, by all means, go ahead. and you do you. I'm here to objectively analyze the data and the totality of evidence and rely the information onto you. You're hopefully old enough to drink if you're watching this video, and you should be able to make informed choices. But if you disagree with me, then please provide better evidence so that I might actually change my mind on this topic. But so far, having looked and analyzed the totality of evidence, it clearly points in one direction. Alcohol consumption, even in small amounts, is harmful. What are your thoughts about this topic? Feel free to let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you during my next post.